Hello everybody, Travysty here, and today we have our Week 5 battle of the Pokemon Invitational Cup versus the Denver Blitzles. So if you guys are hype, be sure to cheer on your Carolina Castforms as we are about to get into this battle. So if you guys have noticed, we are 2-2. If you guys did not watch Season 1, I mean, you can honestly go back and rewatch Season 1 right now, because you're going to see that the Denver Blitzles actually turned around and became the champions of Season 1. So this was a matchup that I was really looking forward to. Last time I went up against them, if you guys have been around since Season 1 of the Pokemon Invitational Cup, I believe I got 3-0'd or 4-0'd. I had a hard time dealing with Charizard X and Amoonguss. He played his Regenerator Amoonguss really well, and now he has another mon that has Regenerator. So Joey, I know he's gonna play this well, and that's a Slowbro. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and go into our Pokemon's sets here. We have Mega Metagross, we have Magic Guard, Cosmic Power, Moonblast, Flamethrower, Soft Boil, Clefable with the, I can't remember the name of it, it's the Culperberry or something like that. It has the damage of poison because he does have a Nidoking and Venusaur that really actually hurt. So I was just, and he also has mons like Haxorus that can Poison Jab, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to catch one of them off and I'm going to kill him because Moonblast Okos a Haxorus, Flamethrower will hurt a Venusaur. So yeah, it was just one of those things where I was just like, yeah, let me pack something here. Then we got our defensive Druddigon. We decided to bring defensive Druddigon. I actually went back and forth on this one, just because looking at the makeup of his team, it walled a few mons, not all of them. Like Venusaur is walled by it, unless it's packing like HP Ice or something like that. It's not going to be able to do anything with its stab moves, especially if it's defensive, which I am expecting it to be defensive. Honestly, he has like Typhlosion, Nidoking, Slowbro that really hurt it. So, and then also I don't really like, the best I can do against Fortress is outstall him, which even then he has Granbull, which is a switch in. That really is not a, it doesn't feel good for Druddigon. Then we've got Calm Mind, Scald, Ice Beam, and Extrasensory Suicune with lefties. Then we've got our Choice Banded Sock. This Sock is rocking out like Fire Punch, Facade, just because he did have a couple status users, so if he ended up getting a status off, Sock would be just really powerful. Knockoff, it was a power set. I went for power with Sock this week. He's also a Mold Breaker, so because of the fact he's packing Fire Punch, he'll be able to break through that Hick Fat, I believe. So I was just like, you know what, this might catch him off guard. And then I've actually got Tornadus T. I decided to bring the Tornadus back after it got 6-0'd in week 1, and I'm just, you know what, I was looking at what my little Torn here, and fun fact, Tornadus outspeeds the entirety of his team, and he has 2 really good Choice Scarfers in Typhlosion and Nidoking. So I speed creeped and Choice Scarfed it and made it a modest set. So it just really does a lot of damage. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the battle. So I look at his team, and he brought Slowbro, Electivire, Typhlosion, Granbull, Fortress, and the Venusaur. Now my first play of choice is, honestly, I want to lead with Tornadus, just because it does have a good matchup against Fortress. It has a good matchup against Venusaur. It has a good matchup against really all of his mons, and the fact that he is Choice Scarfed means I do get to U-turn out. The only mon I don't really want to be in on is Slowbro, but even then, U-turn should do about 20 to 25, even if it's full defensive. So it was okay. It was okay. So it was probably my best switch in. Electivire being the only other mon on his team that I think could take something from a Tornadus. So I look at his team, and another thing that you guys also, I'd highly recommend teams do this, even if you're just laddering, recognizing your win con. I look at my team. Druddigon is good for getting up hazards, not really too much else. He's got Sucker Punch, Glare, and Dragon Tail, so I'm going to try and phase with him a little bit. Metagross, while it does put in a good amount of work, it would not be able to get past the defensive Slowbro, I believe. So I think it's better for Metagross to kind of be looking at the one to put in pressure. What I really want to do with this match, honestly, is I want either Suicune to be able to get Calm Minds up, because he is packing extra sensory, so which means he will be able to take out Venusaur. He should be able to 1v1 the Fortress, just because after a couple Calm Minds, Scald will be able to take care of it. Granbull, he should be able to 1v1. Typhlosion, easy 1v1. Electivire being the only mon I'm really not sure about 1v1ing against, because it's of course an electric type, and that will hurt for Suicune even though he is fully defensive. And then I don't have Shadow Ball, so Slowbro is pretty annoying, so I want to get rid of the Slowbro and the Electivire. Tornadus, at this point in time, I'm kind of looking at as my win con. I feel like if I keep it healthy, I'll be fine. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start this battle right here. So we're going to go ahead and start off. I'm going to start off with the real Tornadus. As you're going to see, I'm going to have the real in front of all names as a shout out to him. I'm going to go for the Heat Wave first turn because I'm going to predict for him to go for Rocks. That's going to knock him down to 1%, of course. I'm going to actually switch out, expecting. I played this very precautious because there is the fact of the matter that he could carry Explosion. If he carries Explosion, Self-Destruct, whichever one it is, it's going to suck because that will kill Tornadus, and that goes my win con. So I go out onto my defensive Druddigon. It's just for the fact that he could switch out, he can Volt Switch, whatever he wants to do. If I get up my Rocks right now, he loses his Spinner. And him losing his Spinner means I get Rocks up, and that's big for me because I can continuously chip the Slowbro. Even though it's not a lot, it does whittle down a little bit of the effectiveness of Regenerator. Electivire does not appreciate Rocks. Typhlosion does not appreciate Rocks. Venusaur is going to take Rocks damage, and that's going to be critical for me being able to chip and allowing Suicune and Tornadus to be able to do work. So he's going to actually go out into Slowbro, so I'm going to make the prediction for him to predict the Dragon Tail, as I have been using it very aggressively. And I'm going to go ahead and just go for the Stealth Rock here, as he's going to come out into the Granbull, intimidate me, and he is going to T-Wave here, which is his best play, easily. Unfortunately for him, I could have had Gunk Shot and been offensive, since he could have died. He's going to Thunder Wave me here again. I'm actually just going to predict that and go for the Flamethrower, because I felt like there was no reason for him to, for me to stay in. So I figured he would predict it and go for the T-Wave. So I went for the Flamethrower. I've revealed that I have Flamethrower right now. So I'm going to actually Moonblast here just to see what kind of damage Moonblast will do. And because Fairy does not resist Fairy. And Moonblast does a hell of a lot. So I'm actually just going to continue the Moonblast as he goes out into Zuko here, which I'm completely fine with, because even though that only does 19%, I get this special attack drop. I get a little bit of chip damage. I'm actually going to Moonblast here again. Expecting for him to Lava Plume, because I felt like I could take a Lava Plume from this thing. And I only lose 33%. This thing is the, what is it, Dry Rock, I believe. As soon as I see Sunny Day, I know that's exactly what he's going for. And he's got Chlorophyll Venusaur. So I'm just like, okay, this thing is scary. So I cannot switch out on this thing. So I'm actually going to tank up a hit here. And I'm going to go ahead and Soft Boil up. As you can see, I'm just kind of stalling out. I'm going to Soft Boil up again here, I believe. Yes, I Soft Boil up again because that's honestly just my best play, is to try and make sure I have as much HP as possible. He's going to sack the Fortress. I'm actually going to go ahead and go for the Soft Boil here again. That way I'm at 100%. And he's going to go out into this thing. Now, it's on our last turn, so I decide I'm going to Flamethrower here on the Sludge Bomb. Eat my Kepia Berry. I guess that's how you say it. And I get paralyzed, which is unfortunate because that means I really don't have much else I can do here. So I'm going to go out into Metagross, which is the real metagame, expecting the Sludge Bomb, which I am going to be immune to. So from this one, I get to fire off a free Meteor Mash on whatever comes in. It's a Mega Meteor Mash, and that does 20%, which tells me that this is fully defensive Slowbro right off the get-go, as I'm just going to switch out into Sod. I am Mold Breaker. He's going to go for the Scald here, and I believe I go for the Knockoff. That's just my best play in this matchup. So I got the real Miyagi out, as he's going to actually just go ahead and go into Granbull here. And I know Knockoff will not kill, so I decided to go ahead and swap back out into Clefable, hoping that I can take a Play Rough a little bit better for some reason. I felt like the damage calc was going to be lower for some reason, even though I know that it's going to do 30%. So I'm just going to sack off Clefable here. It doesn't really do that much anymore, unfortunately. because it is not sped F, it is defensive. So I decided it's the worthwhile sack. As I'm going to switch out into Mega Metagross, go for another Meteor Mash here. It does 21%. I get the attack boost, but I don't have the move to really deal with Slowbro. So I'm going to actually go out into Suicune here, expecting this as my moment to kind of set up, as he goes for a Calm Mind, which automatically is terrifying. Now, this is really hard right here. I ended up having to play this really difficult because he's going to go for a Toxic here, which absolutely terrifies me because now the Suicune is Toxic and I only have a limited amount of turns. So I went to see what an Extra Sensory would do, as it does absolutely nothing. Like, holy cow, Scald is absolutely my best play. I wish I took Shadow Ball instead of Extra Sensory, but I tried to take Extra Sensory just that way I'd be able to deal with Mega Venusaur. So, with that being said, he's still going to continue to set up. I'm going to go out into the real Miyagi here, hoping that he doesn't go for something offensive. He goes for something offensive, which is unfortunate. I wanted to get the knockoff off right there, and I'm going to U-turn out. That does 19%, which doesn't really do enough. I'm going to go out into the real Doge, just that way I can eat up the Scald. He's going to go for a Shadow Ball this next turn. I'm just going to sack it off. I'm going to get a Scald off. And I was hoping actually to get a burn right there. That was honestly my best play at that point. Going to go back out into Tornadus. As you can see, I'm having to play the sacking game here because I misplayed around the Slowbro really hard. I go for the U-turn here because it's honestly my best play. And I'm actually going to go ahead and go into the Drudgergon here. Now, this is unfortunate. I don't know if the crit mattered. I didn't run the calcs because I am fully defensive. He does take a lot of chip damage though, so I know I can go right back out into the real Tornadus and I can just fire off a U-turn. I was actually expecting that to kill, but unfortunately it does not. Mega Metagross has to come out in on the Thunder Punch. Thankfully it's a Thunder Punch and I do not get paralyzed. I go for the BP. Just because I'm expecting him to be faster than me because I'm not fully speed invested. I'm just enough to outspeed everything but the Typhlosion and the Electivire. Because I actually didn't think he was going to bring the Electivire this match. So he goes for the Scald here, which is obviously his best play. He's going to switch out and sack off the Grand Bull here, which is going to give, he's going to get the Intimidate drop on me, which is absolutely his best play because at +1 I have the potential to knock out. I think it's a roll with Meteor Mash. As long as I didn't get a low roll, he was going to die. And now I'm +2. And unfortunately, I do die to a Scald, though. Now this thing is in a bad situation. Now, I have the choice. I am Choice Scarf. My set is Air Slash, U-Turn, Psychic, and Heat Wave. Psychic does not kill. Air Slash will kill it. But it's not a game, and it does 67%, I think, at max on the Venusaur. So I decide this is the time. I have to lock myself in Air Slash. Unfortunately, it is an inaccurate move. It's 95%. It's not too terribly inaccurate, but I do have a chance to miss. So right now, I'm just rubbing my hands together and like, please, please don't let me miss this. Please don't let me miss this. As I go for the Air Slash, I kill this thing, thankfully. Which tells me that now I can go ahead and fight this Venusaur right here. I'm going to get an Air Slash off. It's going to do 56%. He's going to Synthesis, and it looks like he's playing around the fact that Air Slash missing, which would be a free heal for him. But unfortunately, I don't miss, and I flinch. So that's going to be GG. Well played right there. Real Judy. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was shaking during the battle. Just how intense it was. I misplayed the Slowbro so bad. Like, that is the biggest thing for me. I misplayed Slowbro so bad. I should have brought Shadow Ball on Suicune. But other than that, I think I played really well. I got Rocks up at the perfect time. And I was able to take Tornadus. And I realized that how important Tornadus was at the very beginning. And at the very end, I got to... It was confirmed that it was right. That Tornadus just put in so much work against his team, and honestly Tornadus is the MVP of this because Tornadus just came through, outsped everything, and killed what he needed to at the late game. But yeah, that was probably the toughest match I've had this season so far. But we just took down the Season 1 champions. Like, I'm on cloud 9 right now. That's not a joke. That's not a weather joke or anything. I'm feeling myself right now, and I am so happy that I was able to pull out a win against Judy, because I definitely, when you play against somebody in the second season of anything and you play against the champion of this previous season, there's automatic pressure that's put onto you, because you know this guy is proven to be really good in this format, and he's still really good in this format. I was just able to play a little bit better, and I was able to get the win because of it. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe to join YouTube's greatest travesty. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to check out The Real Judy. He's a very entertaining dude. I enjoy talking to him, and like I said, he's one of the best competitive battlers that I know, and I definitely respect him as a battler. And I'm very happy to say that we had a very intense match. It's definitely what I wanted. So thank you guys again for all your support for the Carolina Castforms. We are now 3-2. Next week we take on the Dallas Darmanitans. Good old Nate Dogg plays. I'm sure you guys remember him, as we're going to look to mollywop his team. So if you guys are excited, hit up that like button and tune in next time to see Nate Dogg catch that weather ball. Peace. I'm out.